Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the GSL, the Global Star League Super Tournament. Every morning we come here and the tournament, like we were talking about yesterday, rips off its jacket, shirt, runs into the KTLA phone booth and changes into a super tournament. And as a result,
it gets so much more epic.
As a result, you guys get to see some awesome games. Even in the round of 64, there hasn't really been, maybe one or two, but there have not been many matches thus far in the entire round of 64 that have not been really fun to watch.
Exactly. There haven't really been that many, knockout, he's, that much better than the other guy. And even some games like Creator Prime versus MVP, that was the game that everyone was like, oh, this is going to be a joke. I don't want to watch. And then it was like, MVP almost lost. So
that was cool.
Well, up next, we got Revival versus Ensare. TSL versus OGS. So, who do you think's going to take this match, Moletrap?
I don't know. See, the thing is Revival, I think Ensare is probably the favorite. I think he's probably the favorite.
In my opinion as well.
He's actually been in GSL. He's been in Code S. And Revival's a pretty new player. He's only barely been in Code A a little bit. He got eliminated in the round of 16 of Code A. Sorry, the round of 32 of Code A last season. So he doesn't really have that much experience, and we're going to get a shot of our players here in just a moment. There he is, TSL Revival. He actually did, I forgot, he got to the round of 16. And got eliminated though. He got to the round of 16 the previous season, and they got eliminated in round 32 last season. So unfortunately not even in Code A next season. But I kind of like, he played, if I remember correctly, against Keen. Let me double check that. No, it was Ryung. And he had some really cool stuff going on. He played ZVT differently than anyone else did. And so Ensare, he's not really the best Terran. I could see him getting caught off guard by something interesting from this new and relatively unknown player.
I agree. I think that's, you can't count him out by any means. And of course, here's Ensare, who's got beautiful results, Code S player, and he's been in the GSL since its inception, was in the Open Tournament. The first Open Tournament, made it to the round of 4, I believe. I don't think that's shown up there, but he's done well.
Yep.
Ever since the GSL started.
Yeah, as you can see, he hasn't really gotten too far though, and that's why I say he's good, but he's not the best.
Right. He's a consistent player, but not one of those best players in the world players.
Yeah, exactly. He does do very well against Zerg though. He's actually 68% win rate against Zerg, 11-5 overall in his history. Of course, as you can see on the screen, 4-2 lately. Actually, and that's not counting 8 wins and 0 losses in foreign tournaments, including versus July Zerg.
Look at his haircut. Whoa, I didn't even recognize him. I was like, who's that in the booth?
Wow. All right. Ensare getting the haircut, making sure he's totally streamlined for this game.
Yeah, he doesn't want to have any wind drag.
He read
the term for that, wind drag. I don't know anything about aerodynamics, Moletrap. You gotta help me out.
If you hadn't said wind drag, I probably could have remembered what the something. Anyway, he saw the sign out front. There's a big 50-foot by 50-foot sign on the front that says "It's your time to fly," GSL. And he saw that, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm not aerodynamic enough."
Exactly. That must have been what forced the decision for him.
Exactly. The first map is going to be on Metalopolis. As you can see, both players eliminating a couple maps. Revival thumb down Zelnaga Fortress, which is interesting because I believe that is the game, one of the games he lost against Ryung was on Zelnaga Fortress. That's kind of funny. And Dual Sight eliminated by Ensare.
Those are both new maps. I think maybe both the players just kind of don't feel as comfortable on them. That might be one reason why. By the way, the first game is going to be on Metalopolis. These two players look extremely focused. We'll see who takes this first game. This awesome TDC.
GSL Revival versus OGS Ensare.
And here's our Zerg player at the right side of Metalopolis. He is eliminated from Code A, but now in the Super Tournament, he's trying to attempt a
GSL Revival.
That was so clever.
of his
Moltrap.
career.
That was so clever.
Thank you. And Revival's trying to get away with the win, but will he be slowed down by a spell from StarCraft 1?
OGS Ensare.
That was also pretty clever.
Thank you.
I like your.
I'm proud
I
of
like
those.
your intros today.
I'm proud of those. Ensare, Kim Sung Chul or Chul, something like that. Revival, by the way, just in case you guys are wondering, used to be known as TSL Pretty
Yeah.
and TSL Posh.
I didn't know about the Posh.
That may have been his favorite Spice Girl.
That's pretty funny. I remember something about a Spice Girl character type person it being in TSL, but I didn't really firm that up. By the way, thanks to LG, Intel, and G-Skill sponsoring this wonderful tournament.
It was actually Baby Spice. She went pro StarCraft 2 for a little bit.
Oh, really?
No, not really.
I thought you were actually being serious for a second. I was like, she actually played StarCraft 2? But you said it in such a serious voice that I didn't know if you meant that she actually played. I mean, I knew she wasn't actually a pro. I would have heard about her. I know about all the pros. Not necessarily the girl pros, you know, the girls that do well in StarCraft 2, and then everyone calls them pros even though they're not that good.
Yeah.
I don't want to give my opinion on that because there's a huge controversy on the internet about it. People are going to get mad.
You know, I actually have that problem a lot, that I make, like, you know, straight man jokes. I make jokes where you, like, say it deadpan and that's why it's funny. But I say it so deadpan that people don't realize that it's a joke, and it causes issues sometimes. And I have to be like, no, I was joking.
So you're giving me some factual information, Moltrap. How am I going to be able to rely on you to keep making jokes in serious voices?
I'm sorry. Did you know that one of the Spice Girls married a soccer pro?
I didn't know that. But I wanted to mention that Ensare is getting a really fast command center off of just one barracks.
And hold that thought, though. Some drones coming out to chase the Marines back from the Overlord. Looks like he's going to save the Overlord for the moment, but he's at risk of losing a drone now. And, wow, actually just going to follow those drones back. Zerglings are out. Overlord looks like it's going to survive the day.
It's actually a really cool build by Ensare. He went for a gasless expand off of just one barracks and scared his opponent. Really, you know, brought an SCV, brought 2 Marines, and then Revival just didn't know what to expect, pulled a lot of drones, lost a lot of mining time, and now the expansion is going to be up. Bunker nearly complete. So Ensare putting himself into quite a lead here at the beginning, I would say.
Yeah, he's going to have his econ going really strong pretty quickly. Now, is Revival going to figure this out, put some pressure on? Because right now he technically doesn't have a lot of Marines. At the very least, he's going to be able to drone up now that he realizes that Ensare is going to just kind of be chilling in his base for a little bit.
Yeah, and another thing to know is that Ensare built his command center on the low ground, so he is immediately mining for that, not hiding, not keeping his base for a while. And that Zergling, did that Zergling actually see the command center? No, did not see the command center.
Didn't even see the bunker at the front.
Oh man, now if he blocks the second one, it is going to be really bad for Revival.
Revival, those Marines were there the last time. They're still there, buddy. He is going to get forced back there, and a factory going up for Ensare, and I believe he's making a reactor there. He might switch over and get some Hellions out. This is a really nice follow-up, because the only way he can put pressure on him is like, oh, you've got no defenses, I'll make a bunch of Zerglings. So if you get a few Hellions out, you can deal with that.
Yeah, it's a smart choice. Did get that double gas immediately after making the command center, so he was able to get those Hellions out very quickly. And still, right now, Revival completely in the dark. Has not seen the command center. He saw the Marines blocking, so that's a good tell that there's a command center there, but he doesn't know for sure. And that's always a really scary situation to be in as a Zerg. Zerg players really rely on that scouting information to make most of their decisions. Don't usually make blind choices, because you can lose really easily as Zerg if you make blind choices. And Zergling is going to run in here now, though, and see everything, including the Hellions.
Yep, that was a good scout, and Ling is not going to catch sight of this starport, of course.
He's going to go into Banshees as well.
Since Zerglings do not have jetpacks like Reapers. Yeah, so he's going to follow up with Banshees. So, Ensare going heavy on. This is going to be interesting. I wonder if we're going to see like a dual harassment with like the Hellions on one side and the Banshee on the other. And he's getting Cloak as well. So, that's really interesting.
Yeah, that's actually almost too much of an investment. A lot of times Zerg players will expect to see Banshees after Hellions. This looks like an Overlord is going to be taken out here, but some Zerglings are going to come try to catch those Hellions.
Oh.
Nope, looks like the Overlord is going to go down. Tried to save it.
Yeah, He's and it's a good move for him to keep him. Actually, he's evacuated the Zerglings altogether, so they're not even going to try and help out this hatchery at all.
Yeah, it's going to take a million years for those Hellions to kill the hatchery. Lair is going up. +1 melee attack on the way as well for Revival.
That
wants to kill those Hellions. Sorry to cut you off. He wants to kill those Hellions so bad, just can't catch them.
Yeah, that hatchery is like the dinosaurs, and the Zerglings are, I don't know what they would be. Evolution. Yeah. So it takes him a million years to kill them off.
Exactly.
I don't know. But it looks like he might be going for roaches, which are the meteor that covers the world in ash of StarCraft 2. Could easily take out those Hellions, but there's a lot of them there, and they're pushing in, doing some harassment. They are going to get pushed back, and there goes the extinction of that particular Hellion.
Yeah, he's like the Yucatan Peninsula. Now remember, all of this is just theory. Nobody really knows what happened to the dinosaurs.
That's right. Nobody really knows.
Well, one of them got a time machine and saw that TV show Barney, and he was like, oh my god, this is what's going to come with dinosaurs. I'm just going to kill myself now.
That's truly the reason why dinosaurs left the Earth. They got time machines, and they found out about Barney. Now this Banshee is going to come in and start to get some kills. I don't see an Overseer anywhere, so he's going to get several drone kills before anything is going to happen.
I don't know, he should maybe target down those queens, but it looks like he just wants to get as many drones as possible.
Yeah.
And the Spore Crawler's already going up, so yeah, targeting the drones is a much better choice. There is one Overseer.
Oh, there's the Overseer.
Can't be, oh, he made 2 Overseers, so he's actually going to be able to see both of them. But the Banshee just getting so many kills, not attacking it right away with that queen. One Banshee up to 6 kills, the other one sitting at 7.
Wow, and he's actually, yep, so Spore Crawler goes up in the natural, not in the main. He actually had a chance where the Overseer wasn't there to hit some more drones in the main. Didn't take that opportunity, but still doing a decent amount of damage. I see 8 kills and 7 kills on those Banshees. Is that what I'm reading correctly?
15 kills total between the 2 of them.
And that gives him map control as well.
Yeah, he's actually got Banshees. He's made 1 more Banshee. He's still seeing the Banshees he had around to kill off creep tumors that are being made, Zerglings around the map as well. And right now, Ensare has already transitioned back at home, started making siege tanks, has made a 3rd command center. So he's just kind of planning on getting his siege tank count up and playing that very normal TBC style.
And do you see the direction that command center is flying?
I do.
He is going for the gold. Ensare is going to try and take that high yield minerals in the middle of the map, and it's a little bit more vulnerable, but right now he has like super duper map control with the Hellions and the Banshees. So he can easily take that.
In fact, with the Banshees as part of his army, it's going to make it very difficult for Revival to want to engage with those roaches against the tank, marine, Hellion army. And here they come. Does lose a Hellion, but the tanks are sieged.
Oh, that volley just at the extent of the range does a lot of damage. He's got Banelings coming out as well, so that could actually do pretty well. Those Banelings are actually pretty good against Hellions as well as Marines. So only 3 tanks out. So if the Roaches tank the damage and the Hellion Banelings get in there, they could do some hurting.
Yeah, so the Speedlings get behind the Hellions as well somehow, and the Banelings hit them. Banelings do quite well against Hellions as long as they can hit them.
Yeah, that is the key to Banelings.
That's the stipulation.
Success.
So Ensare has made that gold base into a planetary, just now finished up. He's actually going to be switching his starport to a reactor to start getting more medevacs out. In fact, he was trying to do a drop, was deflected.
Yeah, a good choice.
And that's because Revival has Overlords all over the map, spotting every single place they're dropped. I don't know how well you guys can see on the mini-map. A little bit of Banshee harassment here, trying to pick off some of those Banelings.
Uh-oh.
Really smart. Revival not even pulling them away.
Wow, targeting down the Banelings, popping them. He needs to get those out of there.
There's a drop in the
dropping at the top as well, which is going to get cleaned up pretty quickly. There's that Banshee. He's actually going to take out a Queen. No, the Queen gets away with just a few hit points left. Back to the safety of the Spore Crawler. But these Banshees, this like late Banshee harass is really doing a lot. Now Mutalisks are coming out, so that those Banshees are going to be pretty much shut down, but a decent push coming down the left. That
really shows Ensare's knowledge of timings. He knows how long he can push the Banshees, use drops before the Mutas are out. Now he's going to push forward here and try to pressure the 3rd base location, scanning to kill some creep tumors. Just using those Banshees to pick off units wherever he can. I love that.
That's a really nice move, really smart.
And this hatchery for Revival, I don't know what he was thinking with that. He's going to have to cancel that ASAP. Didn't even cancel it, losing that hatchery.
Wow, and this Banshee just going to work on the Banelings again. Banshee with lots of kills now, and
these Banshees have like 20 kills apiece.
He made like a Mutalisk, and that Mutalisk actually might get a kill, but in the meantime he's going to lose his 30, or if he doesn't do something quickly. There's Zerglings there. Banelings coming in though. He needs to get out of there, and a few Marines stay behind to try and finish off the hatchery. Doesn't work, but he's going in with everything. Roaches as well, and the Banelings killing all of the Marines and even taking out a tank. The Roaches cleaning up, and Revival saves his third and destroys Ensare's entire army. That was pretty nice.
That's how you be decisive. That's how to be aggressive. That's how to take out armies. We saw last game, we saw Fox Moon try his best to attack armies, but he was never that decisive. And to attack armies like that and try to trade, you have to be extremely decisive. This Reaper going to try to do some scouting, but it run into some Mutalisk. You guys don't get a shot of it.
Yeah. And Infestation Pit is up as well, as you can see there.
There is that Reaper.
And that Reaper somehow, oh, nope, not going to get away from those Mutalisks. Jetpacks cannot save you from flying.
It's really cool. He put that Reaper there to kill the drone that was going to make the hatchery. That was his plan with that. Very specific idea. Could have worked out if the Mutas didn't find it.
Yeah, even checking for that base on the high ground of that main as well. And here's Ensare. He's got a pretty decent defense set up. And
Infestors are on the way, Mole Trap, and that's going to really beef up this Zerg army.
It's interesting that he actually made them before the pathogen plans. Actually, they might hold that thought. Mutalisk and Roaches charging in here. Banelings forcing the Marines back so the Mutas can kill off the tanks very easily. And he's just going to go ahead and take that damage and fall back. And actually, it looks like the timing might work out perfectly on those pathogen glands after all. Let's find out. It's a race. It's a race.
I know a lot of Zerg players really try to time it just perfectly, but it looks like he messed it up because the Infestors finished right before the pathogen gland. Some Overlords over here sightseeing in the wrong no-fly zone. Ensare saying, get out of here. He's actually moving a dropship into place and maybe do some harassment.
Yeah, now, and they're about even in supply right now, but here's the thing. Ensare has $2 grand in the bank. And he really, you know, he could be doing a lot better. He could be putting a lot more pressure if those 2,000 minerals were 6 barracks and a bunch of Marines instead.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's basically, I mean, imagine if in that last fight he'd had a couple dozen more Marines. Might have been a different story. And here's a drop coming in for Ensare.
Take out that Queen. At the very least, he's trying to target down the Infestation Pit. Doesn't get it.
And attacking the bottom at the same time. That hatchery that took so much damage at the bottom got killed, but now a fungal on those Marines takes them all out. And the Zerglings wishing they could jump up in the air and hit those medevacs. Ensare has taken a 4th at the top, so, oh, nice. Fungal stopping those medevacs from escaping, even though they weren't really trying. Is he going to let that? Yeah, he's going to, oh, never mind. Muta's sleeping in. Cleaning up those medevacs.
Killing actually 4 medevacs with those Mutas. That's pretty huge. And actually the supply right now, Revival has taken a supply lead, but Revival does have that scary 4th base up. When Terran gets to a 4th base, gets a ton of production facilities, doesn't matter if you're 20 supply ahead because it's so difficult to break. Muta's going to come in here for some harassment, see some missile turrets, try and decide if they want to go for it.
Yeah, he really needs to get some more production facilities up or something. I don't know how many barracks he has at the moment, but it's not enough.
Yeah, he's adding about 4 reactors right now.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
That is going to help him produce significantly faster.
Yeah. There's some extra starports, actually. Ooh, that's kind of interesting.
And in fact, is that a fusion core Mole Trap in the production tab that you see?
Oh,
it is a fusion core.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to see BCs and late game TVZ.
Wow.
I haven't seen that televised since we saw it happen to Damaga.
Ooh.
Talking about Damaga while his Marines
A little pressure getting shut down there. The medevacs are like, we still have Marines.
Those medevacs were kind of hurt, but I was talking about Damaga while they were, trying to do their job.
Oh, nice fungal takes out a bunch of Marines. And, yeah, just donates those medevacs. He's like, I've got, I don't know. Anyway, Ensare going for a drop again. Mutalisks are on top of it.
Those Mutas.
And he's going to try and take out a Muta or 2. The Mutas stay and fight, and he loses 1, and only 1 Mutalisk. Wow, Ensare's like, you know what? I'm sick of medevacs. I can only have 1 air unit at a time. I lost all my Banshees. I made medevacs. I need to lose all my medevacs so I can build battle cruisers.
Well, he's got a ton of resources stacked up. Moltrap, maybe he's going to start cranking those out. First battle cruiser is in production, as well as 3 upgrades. So those Marines are going to get significantly scarier. As far as his tanks go, he's got +2 weapons on those as well. So he's got some serious upgrades.
Yeah. Now, Ensare is trying to take the top base, the 12 o'clock, while Revival takes the 6. So we're going to see some huge macro. This is going to be like a fastest map ever, man. We're going to see BCs.
Yeah.
We're going to see
Broodlords.
We're going to see massive amounts of bases. Huge upgrades.
What kind of a weird situation that could happen? There's going to be a small drop over here, so hold that thought. Looks like these mutas are going to chase him down.
Yep, drop at the top. It's going to be a little bit halting. Baneling just chilling underneath there, waiting for the Marines to come out. And that goes down with very little damage and an attack at the bottom at the same time while the Marines are out of position. Gets a couple tanks, but is forced to fall back, but saves his infestors.
Well, what I was trying to say earlier is if the Broodlords get more before he scouts the BCs, he's going to wish he had those Corruptors. And Nice Fungal is killing all of those Marines. Double Fungal is quite good. Marines trying to get the best of what they have, trying to scan, kill some creep tumors.
How did that one Marine survive with 1 hit point? That's amazing.
It was a miracle.
His whole squad died, but he had 1 hit point left.
Here come those Broodlords I was mentioning earlier.
Yeah.
In fact, he's making 8 of them right now. And like I said, when those battle cruisers join the fight, he's going to wish he had those as 8 Corruptors.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to wish he had Corruptors, and that's going to be really interesting, actually, how these battle cruisers are going to play into things, because he doesn't have Neural Parasite, so the BCs could be very strong against Zerglings and Banelings.
And the BCs
and there
are
they
spotted.
Come. Fungal growth. BCs like lol.
I've got so much hit points, but here come the Broodlords, flanking and killing a lot of units over here on the side. There aren't enough BCs to really help deal with those. Ensare needs to pull back to his main base and wait until he has a stronger army, because right now he's losing so much from these Broodlords.
C-Stakes splashing each other, and the battlecruiser can't actually do anything because the Mutalisks are just too many of them to deal with just that one BC.
Yeah, Revival keeping those mutas alive, hiding them from even me. I didn't realize he had that many left. And that's actually going to make it very difficult to use BCs against those Broodlords.
Yeah, this is actually going to be I like the BCs against Broodlords and against everything else, but those Mutalisks really change the dynamic.
Yeah, and you've got to have them all at once. You can't have them split up. But the Broodlords are being targeted by these BCs. They don't have the Yamato cannon just yet. And the Muta's engaging a little bit too early, but I think Revival is going to take this fight.
Yeah, Fungal all over everything stops those Marines from being able to stop the Mutalisks, from stopping the Battlecruisers, from stopping the Broodlords, and the Broodlords live to see another day and to, in fact, win the fight. Infestors coming as well. This could be the end for Ensare's first game.
Yeah, he's actually really in trouble. I thought the BCs were kind of a cool idea, but he sent them in too soon. He had his forces spread too thin, and now suddenly Revival is just all over his base. He doesn't have enough units to hold off this attack, and I think he's dead, Moltrap.
Oh my god, that is such a nasty army. Corruptors, Mutalisks, Broodlords, Infestors casting Infested Marines on the high ground. There's not even any units to Fungal, so they're just going to take out buildings and Ensare with a couple battlecruisers is going to try and hold off. It's not going to happen. Revival, the underdog, is going to defeat the Code S Ensare.
Yeah, definitely. In this first game, it was very strange and peculiar first game that I thought Ensare kind of had on lockdown. He's losing all of his BCs now as they pop out. Command Center just kind of floating in vain. Wow. Right now, maxed out supply for Revival. Ensare, 114 supply. 76 of that supply, though, is in SCVs. Has literally no army.
Oh, my goodness.
And as Tasteless says, expect GG any second.
That's right. Expect GG a couple minutes ago, actually, because Ensare is pretty much dead. He might just be, focusing himself, getting ready for the next game. Maybe he just wants to get a few more shots off with his last battlecruiser. I mean, you know what? If you invested in battlecruiser, you at least want to see it pop out and die. And there's the GG from Ensare. TSL Revival takes game 1 from Ensare in spectacular fashion. And yeah, man, Ensare just did not see those Mutalisks coming.
He didn't, and he had that one BC out trying to do some harassment. Look at him now. He still looks pretty good. He looks pretty motivated. He's just kind of shaken up a little bit. But he's getting himself mentally prepared for that next game. And look at Revival, who looks extremely calm, collected after that first game. And Moltrap, what's our next map?
Next map is going to be our new
Belshire Beach.
Yes, our new map, Belshire Beach. I want to say our new tropical paradise of a map. Nice place for the players to relax on after Very tough first game. Belshire Beach.
Well, I have to be critical of Ensare that last game. He played a very, very good macro style. He got the fast command center up, then he took the gold base, and he had complete map control, and then, like you kept saying, he's got 2,000 minerals? Why does he have 2,000 minerals on just 3 bases in the mid-game? Why didn't he add a bunch of barracks? Why didn't he add a bunch of production facilities? And that's what I have to be really critical about him. Great map control, great choices, not enough production facilities. Good macro at the start, didn't follow through with it.
Huh, yeah. Yeah, that was a little disappointing. He lost a lot of his momentum there in like the earlier late game, I guess you could say, because he didn't have as many units in play. And I thought Revival was dead. I'm like, wow. Ensare has 5 bases, including the high yield. He's got planetaries all over the place at his extra bases, so there's no counterattacks. And he's got complete map control. He's pushing in on Revival's 3rd and 4th over and over again. It's just going to be a landslide after this. And then Revival's like, actually, no, everything. You know, roaches, infestors, banelings, broodlords, corruptors, mutalisks all at once. And took him out and pushed him back. So Revival playing very, very well that game.
Yeah, he didn't lose his cool. After the Banshees were all over him, and he was losing a bunch of creep tumors, losing a lot of drones, and a ton of banelings. We'll see the map, though, like you said, is Belshire Beach, a very new map. Both these players, I'm sure, have been practicing on. They're, like, super focused, both their headsets in the blue.
Yep, it's not one of the older maps, so neither player has too much experience on it.
Yeah, we don't even have that much experience on it, although we did see an epic game on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
On this map.
That was awesome. Anyway, so we're going to see here in just a moment who can take out Game 2. Will Revival close out the series, or will Ensare tie it up? Let's find out